Here's a quick video on how to adjust your valves on your 300ex. To my knowledge, this goes for all years of the 300ex. They really didn't change much on these quads. This quad is a 97, that one's a 98, and that motor's an 05. It's all the exact same. I've already cracked into it a little bit, but what you're going to start by doing is pulling the spark plug and pulling these two little caps. Now it's important you guys know which way these motors spin. If you're looking at this side of the 300ex, it will be spinning counterclockwise. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your ratchet and a socket on your crank bolt, and basically all you're going to do is turn it until you see there should be a line. You're trying to line up a little line or a T with that line in the threads. More than likely you'll probably have to turn it over a couple times to get it perfect. It's important you don't go backwards because it could mess with your valve lash. So you're going to go slowly counterclockwise until you see the T. So when you get to this point, you're going to have to look for these two little lines, and you want your line on the threads to be right in between them. Don't mix this up with your timing mark. Your timing mark actually won't work. This is the point where all of the stress is off of the valves. They're not compressed whatsoever. They're not open at all. You're going to go and pop off this cover and this cover. I'll try to record this as best as I can, but it is what it is. Forgot to mention you're going to need a good set of feeler gauges. So I went and verified before this, but you're going to need 0.004 for both the intake and exhaust. This is what the 300ex calls for, but some people do change their valve lash slightly. A lot of people change the exhaust for more longevity, but we're just going to set it to stock. So I got to the point where I actually need to loosen this valve up. And if you guys can tell, the little adjustment on the top is a square. It's not like a hex. Nothing you can really grab with a wrench because it's so small. It may look kind of crazy, but I came up with this. This actually fits it perfect. So I can tighten and loosen that with, what's it called, like a drywall screw? I don't know what you would call this. This is probably a special tool you're meant to use, but I don't have it, and this works just as good, I'm sure. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to loosen up your jam nut and then tighten or loosen this with the feeler gauge underneath here. I'll show you in a second. And take your feeler gauge, get up and underneath. You want to get in between the valve spring and the lifter here. So you see it's underneath there? You're looking for just a little bit of drag or a little bit of resistance. And right now I have that, so if I could keep it where it's at, it'd be fantastic. I don't really know how well I'm going to be able to show you guys this, but it's important that that square adjustment stays exactly where it's at. So I only have two hands, but what you're going to essentially do is get whatever you're using to hold the square part in place, hold it there, and then tighten the nut on the bottom, the jam nut. And so long as the top part stays exactly where it's at and the jam nut, you know, locks it in there, then you're good, so long as your adjustment stays correct. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get your feeler gauge. Once you're done, you're going to get your feeler gauge in there on both sides, and you're feeling for a little bit of resistance. It's really something you're just going to have to get by feel, but where I've got it right now is pretty much perfect. On this one, let's check the other one. This one might be a little loose. It's not terrible, but it's a little loose. So I'm going to go back and tighten that. Now after readjusting, I can't even get it to slide underneath there, so now it's too tight. It really is just trial and error. Just keep going at it and you'll eventually get it. So now I've got this valve right where I want it, where it's not exactly loose, not exactly tight, just a little bit of drag, a little bit of resistance, nothing too crazy. So the intake side's done. Now we'll move over to the exhaust. I'm really hoping these ones are in spec because they're a lot harder to get to. They're the same exact amount as the intake side, so use the same feeler gauge. I'm not going to show you much because I'm not working with a lot of room, but the exhaust valves were really tight on this machine, so I've already loosened this one and fixed this one here. I'm about to do this one. It's the same idea. You can go a little tighter on these. It really is preference if you know what you're doing. If you don't, then just stick to the Honda specs. So once you've got all your valves tightened or loosened, whatever you got to do, adjusted, go back and just check them one more time, and then spin the motor over once and then recheck them. So long as everything is in spec, you can go and throw it back together. Nothing special when you're putting stuff back together, literally just toss shit back where it came from.